Hello sumo fans to SumoSpirit. Welcome to the Day 2 recap of the Natsu Basho 2025, coming to you from the iconic Ryogoku Kokugikan in Tokyo. The day began with the powerful and symbolic Do-hyo iri of Yokozuna Hoshoryu, setting the tone for another exciting day of sumo action. His presence commanded attention and energized the crowd, marking the perfect start to the tournament's second day. Expectations were high, and the atmosphere was electric from the very first moment. The first major bout of the day featured Caillou taking on Nishiki. After a win on day 1, Nishiki entered the ring with confidence, and he didn't disappoint. In a quick and decisive match, he took control early and maintained strong positioning throughout. Using solid footwork and relentless forward pressure, Nishiki executed a textbook Yoriki-ri, a frontal force out. He drove Caillou out of the ring with precision and power. With this win, Nishiki claimed his second consecutive victory of the tournament. One of the highlights of Day 2 at the Natsu Basho 2025 was the intense bout between Ryuden and Numi. Ryuden entered the ring riding high after a solid win on opening day. But this time, it was Numi who stole the show with one of the best performances of the day. In a fierce and closely contested match, he used an outstanding Yori Tao Shi, a frontal crush out, to bring Ryuden down and claim his first victory of the tournament. It was a display of perfect timing, strength, and technique from the veteran. Were you waiting for a Western rikishi? All eyes were on Shishi, the Ukrainian powerhouse standing 6 feet 4 inches tall at 28 years old, as he faced off against Takenosho. Unfortunately, Shishi couldn't rise to the occasion. Takenosho applied steady pressure from the start, using his strength and technique to control the match. Step by step, he forced Shishi backward, leaving him with little room to recover. With a clean Oshidashi, a frontal push-out, Takenosho sent Shishi out of the dojo. It was a tough start for the Ukrainian, who now sits at 0-2. The action didn't stop there. Next up was Endo taking on May. Endo, already with one win under his belt, looked confident from the start. Using classic forward pressure, he controlled the bout and drove May out of the ring with a clean Yoriki-ri. It was a textbook win that showcased Endo's sharp technique and poise. That victory puts him at 2-0, making him one to watch as the Basho progresses. With solid form and momentum, he's quickly gaining attention. Both matches added intensity and excitement to an already thrilling Day 2. Now, it was the turn of the other Ukrainian, Nishiki, who faced Churra Nomi, both Maigashira. Nishiki showed great form on Day 2, coming out aggressive from the start. He immediately began pushing his opponent back, and while Churra Nomi managed to defend against the initial onslaught, Nishiki kept up the pressure. Eventually, his persistence paid off, and with a powerful Yoriki-ri, he drove Churra Nomi out of the ring, securing the win. A solid performance for Nishiki, showing his strength and determination. The tournament continued with the biggest size mismatch of the Natsu Basho so far. Shoai, standing at 6 feet tall and weighing 379 pounds, faced off against the much smaller Midori Fuji, who measures just 5 feet 8 inches and weighs 251 pounds. Both rikishi entered the ring with a 0-1 record and were desperate to secure their first win. Midori Fuji came out aggressive, using his speed to try and unsettle his larger opponent, but Shoai remained calm and focused. As Midori Fuji launched an attack, Shoai executed a perfect hatakikomi, or slap down, sending him to the clay. It was a smart and timely defensive maneuver that earned Shoai his first victory of the tournament, an important step to regain confidence and momentum. The day continued with the acrobatic and unpredictable Ura, who was looking to bounce back after a Day 1 loss. He faced the rising star Takeru Fuji, who showed no hesitation in controlling the bout. With a straightforward but effective Oshidashi, a frontal push-out, Takeru Fuji handed Ura his second straight defeat. Ura hasn't looked sharp so far in this tournament, and questions are starting to rise. Can he recover his form? Or will this slow 0-2 start define his Natsu Basho? Continuing day 2. Action, Takagi faced a more manageable opponent compared to his day 1 match against Hoshoryu. This time, he went up against Tama Washi, who came in aggressively right from the start. But that intensity worked against him. Takagi stayed composed and used Tama Washi's momentum against him, executing a slick Katasukashi, an under-shoulder swing down, to secure his first win of the Natsu Basho. A clever response to a reckless charge. The next bout featured one of our top picks to shake things up at this Natsu Basho, Daisho, the 31-year-old powerhouse, facing Gono-yama. This was easily one of the most intense and aggressive matches of the day. Daisho came out swinging, landing slap after slap, looking like a man possessed. But behind the chaos was precision. Moments later, he executed a sharp Tsukiyo Toshai, a thrust down, to send Gono-yama to the dirt. A dominant win that reinforces his status as a real contender in this tournament. Next up was the giant Oho, standing at 6 feet 3 inches tall, fresh off his surprising day 1 win over Kotozakura. Facing Kirishima, Oho came in as the favorite, and he lived up to expectations. Using his raw power and size advantage, he delivered a strong Tsukidashi, a frontal thrust out, to claim another impressive victory. Oho is quickly becoming one of the biggest surprises of the Natsu Basho, but with many days ahead, consistency will be key. Now, we come to the highlight of the night, the bout that every sumo fan was eagerly waiting for. On one side was Onosato, the beast of 424 pounds and 6 feet 3 inches tall, just 24 years old, a true generational talent. On the other side, Takayasu, at 35 years old, coming off a loss to Tama Washi the previous day. This match turned out to be a complete beatdown. Onosato came out aggressive from the very beginning, pushing Takayasu to the ropes. Trying to recover, Takayasu attempted a counterattack, but Onosato responded with a powerful Hata Kikomi, a slap down, that left no doubt about his dominance. This victory solidified Onosato's place as one of the top contenders for the Natsu Basho. Did you think there was nothing exciting left to see? Abi versus Kotozakura might not sound like much, but it turned out to be a thrilling match. With similar weight, height, and age, this bout seemed to be one of the closest of the day. However, the Ozeki Kotozakura, who's been a big surprise in sumo, was slightly favored. He needed a win to bounce back from his tough loss to Oho the previous day and keep his tournament hopes alive. The match started with both wrestlers exchanging slaps to the face, but in an attempt to push Kotozakura back, Abi gave him the perfect opportunity to counter with a Hikyo Tashi, a hand pull down. Kotozakura sent Abi to the clay, recovering from his tough defeat and securing a crucial victory. And as always, the grand finale of the day was the bout featuring Yokozuna Hoso Ryu. On day 2, he faced Wakamoto Haru, who was already coming off a tough loss to Onosato the day before. Talk about a brutal start, Onosato on day 1, then Hoso Ryu on day 2. From the very beginning, Hoso Ryu showed the signature aggression that defines him as the top man in sumo. The bout was fast and intense. Hoso Ryu quickly drove Wakamoto Haru to the side of the ring, maintaining complete control. Then, with a powerful Yori Taoshi, a frontal crush out, he sent his opponent tumbling off the dohyo and onto the ground. A dominant performance that reminded everyone why he wears the Yokozuna rope.